Owning a reliable Wi-Fi router is more important than ever before, and with people needing more and more data around their homes. Wi-Fi 6 has allowed mesh systems to get fast enough to support fast connections of 1 gigabit per second or higher. And while some great Wi-Fi 6E routers are already available, including a couple of mesh systems, Wi-Fi 6 still makes the most sense right now for an upgrade, thanks to the significantly wider phone compatibility and lower prices. And Wi-Fi 6 has allowed even compact routers to keep up with the best of the last generation, with support for multi-gig internet connections on some higher end models, with most phones now including Wi-Fi 6 support as standard, and families asking more of their internet connections than ever. It's an excellent time to upgrade to a Wi-Fi 6 mesh router. 3 Ethernet ports per node. Solid AX3000 connection is plenty for most people. Home Shield parental controls are a nice bonus. Compatibility with older decos makes expansion cheap and easy. Dual band connection means devices must share the 5 gigahertz connection. A subscription is required to unlock the full Home Shield feature set. TP-Link's Deco mesh systems are some of the most affordable options available with solid speeds, a good app, and great coverage. The Deco X55 is a compact mesh system that has a lot in common with the older Deco X60 with an AX3000 dual band connection. But there are some worthwhile updates that make the newer model a better pick. Best of all, the Deco X55 supports 160 megahertz connections compared to 80 megahertz on the X60. This allows for a faster connection on supported devices like the high-end Galaxy S23 and PCs. Around the back, there's another upgrade with 3 gigabit Ethernet ports on each node. This makes it easier to keep wired devices online if you're upgrading from an over-city network switch. It also allows you to place your node in proximity to a home office or entertainment center, so you can use a more reliable wired connection to that device. The nodes in this kit also have a nice design with matte white housing that's easy to blend in with just about any room's decor. This allows users to place in the node more optimally in a room rather than trying to hide it. TP-Link's mesh systems are set up with the Deco app, which is easy to use and guides you through getting set up in just a few minutes. And you should need to use this app to get set up. So make sure to download it before disconnecting from your old router.
TP-Link has included its robust Home Shield package that comes with rental controls and a basic QoS. You can also upgrade it with a subscription to add real-time protection and a few extra parental control features.
Compact block-like nodes blend in easily. Solid AX1800 speeds are enough for most homes. AI protection with parental controls included. Easy expansion with most other ASUS routers. AX1800 speeds aren't much faster than Wi-Fi 5. Only one Ethernet port for a wired device. When I ask people what they want out of a router, most of them don't mention a speed test at all. Realistically, most of the things we do online and apart from large downloads rarely need more than 100 megabits per second to feel responsive and fast. The ASUS ZenWi-Fi XD4 is a compact mesh system with an AX1800 wireless connection on each node and ASUS Word software under the hood. And starting with the hardware, the AX1800 dual-band wireless connection offers speeds up to 1200 megabits on the 5 gigahertz band and around 600 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and Wi-Fi 6 devices will be able to connect to the router with a link speed of 1200 megabits per second, though internet speeds will more often than not be around half of that at best. This is due to dual-band mesh systems needing to share the 5 gigahertz band between devices and linking the mesh nodes. Still, this is plenty of speed for most people, and users should have no trouble streaming 4K video
or browsing through social media.
On the software front, ASUS stands out with ASUS Water and AI protection. ASUS Water is the operating system used on ASUS routers, and it allows for not only easy app-based management, but advanced settings if you access your mesh through your web browser. It's nice that these settings are available for those that want them and sufficiently concealed for those that prefer simplicity. AI Protection Classic is included with some security enhancements powered by Trend Micro. You get malicious site blocking, infected device blocking, and advanced parental controls. When it comes time to expand your mesh or upgrade your Wi-Fi system, there's a good chance your ASUS system will be more than just e-waste. AMesh allows you to expand your mesh with most other ASUS routers. You could either use your XT4 nodes to expand a new system or add capacity to your mesh with a new router or Zen Wi-Fi system, whichever core is faster. Fast AX6600 Wi-Fi 6 speeds, 2.5 gigabits per second Ethernet on each node. Great coverage, home shield parental controls and security, large nodes, only 2 Ethernet ports per node total. The TP-Link Deco X90 is a very fast mesh Wi-Fi router with an AX6600 tri-band connection. The speeds break down to 48.4 megabits per second on 1.5 gigahertz band and a 10.101 megabits per second. This is a single output for a single agency with 2 more connected auto values. It also makes a large engineer expert single auto value, which is 2 other decos. With 8 streams, each Deco X90 node has plenty of power for just about anything. The Deco times 90 set with 2 nodes covers up to 6,000 square feet. TP-Link's AI-driven mesh uses the router software to provide the best coverage possible, depending on the specific challenge of your home. Still, if you find you need more coverage, the Deco X90 can be expanded with any other Deco router. This means you can use more X90 nodes, other Wi-Fi 6 Decos, or even older Wi-Fi 5 Decos. The Deco X90 nodes are rather tall at 8.3 inches, so you need to think a little more about how you place them. With a matte white housing that matter, X90 nodes don't stand out too much and really wouldn't look bad if left visible. Keep in mind that each node only has 2 Ethernet ports. One is used for internet connection. So if you have many wired devices, you may need to pair the system with a switch. The Deco system is easy to set up with the Deco app and only takes a few minutes. Home Shield is included with this system and incorporates parental controls and some security features. While there is a paid tier, most people will have everything they need with the free version, including content filters, profiles, and schedules. Fast AX3000 connection with 160 megahertz support, a great Eero app and software, compact design, works with all other Eeros, doesn't work in 160 megahertz mode with older Eeros, and some specifications like AX3000 don't tell the whole story when it comes to actual Wi-Fi speeds. This is thanks to additional factors such as MIMO, spatial streams, and intended configuration. What separates the Eero 6 Plus from the standard Eero 6 isn't just a bump in speed, but a wider 160 megahertz band at 5 gigahertz. This doubles to 2402 megabits per second with 160 megahertz devices like the Galaxy S23 series of phones. It also means that the Eero 6 Plus nodes will have a faster connection to each other for a better overall mesh performance. Even with the faster speeds, the Eero 6 Plus is one of the smallest routers you can get with this kind of speed. Eero 6 Plus comes in at just 3.8. They're inches wide and 3.9 inches deep. Of course, this router is designed to sit flat on a table or shelf, so expect to dedicate a bit of space to put it and still compared to many other similar routers, Eero 6 is remarkably compact. And mesh expansion is easy on Eero, with the company maintaining compatibility with all other Eeros. One issue we noticed in our Eero 6 Plus review with expansion is that the connection will need to operate in a slower 80 megahertz mode when used with older devices like the Eero 6 series. This could also be a factor when adding Eero built-in devices like the Echo Dot to your mesh. And Eero's setup and management app are robust, so people want almost any option, including port forwarding and IPv6 support. Eeros will also automatically update themselves to make sure your network is secure. There is an optional Eero Plus subscription available that can add advanced filtering for inappropriate content, as well as antivirus software, a VPN service, and a password manager. Also watch them, and many of these co-tunings are circulating somewhere, and Kali, fast speeds, tri-band setup, up to 5,500 square feet of coverage, tons of expansion with other ASUS routers, 3-LAN Ethernet ports, limit wired devices. ASUS was one of the first networking companies to commit to mesh networking with its robust AMS software that works on most routers, regardless of whether they were explicitly designed for a mesh. ASUS has repeatedly proven its abilities with the Zen Wi-Fi XT8, which features a sleek and reasonably compact design with incredible capabilities. The routers come in white or charcoal colors and have 3 available Ethernet ports on the back of each. The Zen Wi-Fi XT8 is capable of wireless speeds up to AX6600 with a tri-band setup that is 574 megabits per second, 2.4 gigahertz and 1201 megabits per second, and 4804 megabits per second. While most connections today max out at 1 gigabit, the Zen Wi-Fi is ready for the future, with a 2.5 gigabits input for faster internet speeds, or more realistically, a fast wired home network. If you want to expand your mesh, you'll need an ASUS router that supports AMesh and will be best served by a tri-band Wi-Fi 6 capable router. The Zen Wi-Fi XT8 gets done not 1 fibers, but someone's feet from Mars 6 to get at 7 tape Ni, and the Mars 6 to get around 2 control that they do a lot of controversials when they are a lot of options. And AI Protection Pro is an unmatched value in home networking. AI Protection Pro is included for the product's life and comes with network security using Trend Micro's official database. It all has advanced parental controls that allow you to control all of your kids' devices with schedules and content filters. Tri-band Wi-Fi 6 allows for gigabit internet. Great Eero app and software, works with all other Eeros, compact size. Coverage per node is less than the competition. Only 2 Ethernet ports per Eero. More people than ever are upgrading to gigabit internet. Unfortunately, getting a mesh system fast enough to support it usually means you'll have to find space for a reasonably large node in several rooms of your house. Eero Pro 6 goes a long way to fix this with its tri-band AX4200 speed and a compact 2.1 inch tall and a 5.3 millibit per second inch wide housing. The rates break down to 2402 megabits and 1201 megabits on either the 5 gigahertz bands, with 574 megabits on the 2.4 constraints. Even high-end laptops should be able to make the most of the connection. Each Eero Pro 6 node can cover up to 2,000 square feet, with the 3-pack covering 6,000. Like all wireless routers, this can vary greatly if your home has a lot of interference, like dense walls. Still, with 3 less powerful nodes, the Eero's approach with the Pro 6 should allow for a lot of flexibility in the mesh or setup. If you have any older Eeros, you can use them to expand your Eero Pro 6 mesh, thanks to full compatibility with all Eero routers. This includes Eero bloating devices such as the Amazon Echo Dot. Keep in mind that in areas where you connect to the slower Eeros, your speed will only be as fast up those older Eeros. Software isn't the first thing most people think of when shopping for a router, but Eero's app and consistent software updates have shown how convenient it can be to have a wealth of settings and network statistics at your fingertips. The UI is well designed and set up as a breeze,
Whether you're setting up for the first time, adding nodes, Arrow's some nice features like IPv6, WPA3, and even port forwarding from the app.
Arrow Secure is a subscription software suite available on Arrow systems. The base Arrow Secure subscription has improved network security, parental controls with content filtering, ad blocking, and even VIP support. For a low monthly rate, this is an excellent package to have, especially if you have students on the network. Arrow Secure Plus adds antivirus software, a password manager, and a VPN subscription to that for a bit more. Solid AXE 5400 tri-band speeds, up to 5,500 square feet of coverage with 2 nodes, easy to conceal, supports 160 megahertz at both 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz, no multi-gigabit Ethernet. Wi-Fi 6E is the newest version of a Wi-Fi you can get, and with the promise of improved speeds on compatible devices over Wi-Fi 6, you might expect the techs to be very expensive. TP-Link has broken the mold with the Deco XC75 Wi-Fi 6C mesh kit at a lower price, even compared to Wi-Fi 6 kits, and plenty of wireless speed for those with a gigabit internet connection. As we found in our Deco XE75 review, this mesh kit delivers some of the best Wi-Fi speeds of any router, let alone one that costs less than some other standalone routers of similar speed. You get 2 nodes in the pack that TP-Link reckons will cover up to 5,500 square feet. You compare this system with the same node or even older codes for the best performance. You'll want a Wi-Fi 6E enabled Deco if possible. And TP-Link software is much simple, with the likes of ASUS putting it to shame when it comes to advanced settings. Even so, most people won't find the lack of the choice to be a serious issue. And TP-Link does at least allow you to choose whether you use the 6 gigahertz band as a dedicated backhaul or shared with devices. Being able to isolate the 6 gigahertz band is also convenient in that you can be sure your device connects to 6 gigahertz rather than 5 gigahertz. This was a problem our Eero Pro 6E review, but TP-Link has sidestepped the issue by simply letting the customer choose. Fast tri-band AX1000 speeds, compact nodes with 2.5 gigabits of Ethernet WAN LAN on each node and 4,005 times measures. Okay. And whatever I don't know about the fifth, dual 160 megahertz, 5 gigahertz channels don't need DFS, no Wi-Fi 6E support. We've looked at a number of ROG routers that were designed to put gaming first, such as the bleeding edge ROG Rapture GT-AXE 16000 or the more affordable Rapture GT-AX 6000. But the ROG Rapture GT6 is the first ROG mesh system, and it's got the hardware and software chops to overcome some of mesh Wi-Fi's greatest weaknesses when it comes to gaming. The ROG Rapture GT6 is a fast AX1000 Wi-Fi 6 mesh kit with 2 5 gigahertz bands running at 160 megahertz. This mesh isn't the first tri-band Wi-Fi 6 mesh kit, but it is one of only a handful of options with support for UNI 4. UNI 4 adds new spectrum up to 5.9 gigahertz that was previously unavailable to Wi-Fi systems. This allows for a second 160 megahertz band at 5 gigahertz that doesn't need to dip into DFS spectrum, which could be easily interrupted by radar interference. This allows the ROG Rapture GT6 to deliver consistent 160 megahertz speeds up to 4,804 megabit per second on the 5 gigahertz band, and then 8.6 games based on social media activist Camera Home. If you do a lot of money getting a story, you can remember that if you can possible, and if you prefer to keep things wired, you've got a 2.5 gigabit per second Ethernet port on each node alongside 3 gigabit ports. 2 of the gigabit ports can be used with link aggregation for a 2 gigabit per second connection to a supported device like a NAS. This Ethernet flexibility also makes this system ready for internet connections faster than 1 gigabit per second, whether they use multi-gig Ethernet or link aggregation as many DOCSIS 3.1 modems do. And finally, ASUS's Coz software prioritizes their gaming traffic to keep latency as low as possible, even when there are multiple devices using the internet at once. To add to that, ASUS has a feature called VPN Fusion, which allows you to use a VPN for most of your connections while passing through your gaming traffic. And for security, AI Protection Pro is included for free for the lifetime of the product, which comes with security enhancements like intrusion blocking, malicious site blocking, and advanced parental controls. Attractive design with a color display, fast tri-band Wi-Fi, easy configuration with Amplify app, expensive, and I'll see that with 3S. And I'm going to give you someone type, but if you do that, click and make that function back to any of those latest masks. We've got too much top features, 3,000 square foot coverage, 4 times Ethernet ports, Amplify teleport app, easy setup, attractive design, a single alien router, covers up to 3,000 square feet, and a pack with a similarly equipped mesh point takes that up to 6,000 square feet. The alien router is 4 Ethernet ports on the back for wired devices, while the mesh point has none. You can create a mesh with multiple routers if you need extra Ethernet ports. Amplify Alien comes in a cylindrical housing measuring 9.84 inches tall with a 4.33 inch diameter. The power and WAN port are located on the bottom, allowing for a perfect for wireless only setup. The 4 Ethernet ports are located on the back, vertically oriented. On the front of the router is a 4.7 inch touchscreen that can show your network information in real time. And setting up your Amplify mesh is simple with the Amplify app. You can manage connected devices and set up family profiles to enable time-managed internet access. You also get access to Amplify Teleport, which allows you to connect to your home network while you're away from home securely and quickly. Dedicate Mesh Backhaul, fast DOCSIS 3.1 modem. Works with Orbi RBS 750 and RBS 850 satellites. Simplified network setup, rather large unit. If you have cable internet, your ISP probably tried to get you to pay an additional monthly fee for a router that doesn't deliver great performance. The Netgear Orbi as CBK752 is a fast AX4200 Wi-Fi 6 mesh system with a DOCSIS 3.1 modem that can handle the fastest speeds a cable ISP can deliver, with a theoretical download speed of 10 gigabits per second. The router side offers a fast mesh connection, similar to the Orbi RBK752, and even uses the same satellites. That means 600 megabits per 1400 megabits per second, or 5 gigahertz, for connected clients, with a dedicated 2400 megabits per second, 5 gigahertz backhaul. This mesh system with a router and satellite covers 5,000 square feet, though you can add additional satellites if more coverage is needed. An additional RBS 750 satellite will add 2,500 square feet. The base router has 4 open Ethernet ports and the satellite has 2 Ethernet ports. You could also use an RBS 850 satellite for expansion with 4 Ethernet ports. Orbi routers are a bit tall and awkward, and their minimal depth makes them reasonably easy to place. The base router comes in at 9.6 inches tall, 7.7 inches, and a mile wide, and 3.5 inches deep. The satellite is more compact, 9.1 inches tall, 7.2 inches wide, and 2.8 inches deep. The setup uses the Orbi app, allowing easy setup and management. For example, you can see all connected devices and restrict internet access. You can also see the quality of each satellite's connection to ensure you're getting as much speed as possible. You can also subscribe to Netgear Armor, which includes security features powered by Bitdefender and additional device controls. The modem is compatible with all major U.S. cable service providers, and you will need to contact your ISP to activate the modem for use. And with so many ultra-fast Wi-Fi 6 routers available, it's easy to overbuy. The fact of the matter is, most people don't need a ton of extra speed, and the TP-Link Deco X55 hits the sweet spot with its AX3000 connection and 3 nodes in the box. This Deco also supports 160 megahertz connections, unlike older models, so your devices can make the most of the 5 gigahertz connection. For most people, an AX3000 mesh router is the sweet spot with enough capacity to keep up with a gigabit connection, even when connected to a remote node. It can be easy to get distracted by big numbers in marketing when it comes to picking a mesh, but the fact is many people simply don't have a safety need for an ultra-fast gigabit connection. A compact AX1800 mesh system like the Asus MWi-Fi XT4 is a great fit for many families on internet connections. Slower Asus includes parental controls, malicious site blocking, and AMesh, which makes mesh expansion with nearly any modern Asus router. The TP-Link Deco X90 is a very fast AX6600 tri-VAM mesh system. It's a great pick for those working from home or for a home with a large family. Its 2.5 gigabits per second Ethernet port makes it a good choice for those with access to multi-gig internet connections, which are becoming more common both from fiber providers like AT&T and even cable providers like Xfinity. Mesh routers are just like any other Wi-Fi router, except many of them have been designed to be more compact and a bit nicer to look at. This is because mesh routers need to be placed in multiple rooms in a house to work their best. So they'll be in full view much of the time. But even so, I think, many standard routers such as the Asus RTAX82U can be used as a mesh router or with mesh routers to form a mesh. Mesh routers are much like standard Wi-Fi routers when it comes down to the hardware, but they're designed to work in conjunction with other routers to create consistent coverage all over a house and mesh. These routers are often called nodes, but by using either a wide 5 gigahertz band or another separate band, mesh systems link together to find the best passback to the modem to provide as fast an internet connection as possible. This allows your devices to connect to a nearby mesh node rather than needing to reach all the way to your modem. Yes, a mesh router will need to use a significant chunk of its overall capacity to link the mesh nodes. This usually works out to around half of your 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi speed. Getting a system with a dedicated backhaul will offer the most consistent speeds, since it'll have an entire 5 gigahertz band just for your devices. If you're picking out a dual band system, make sure the 5 gigahertz bands can deliver at least double the internet speed you want to see on your devices. Tri-band systems, they are a bit more complicated, but they have a few more options when it comes to configuration. Make sure the band that's dedicated to devices has plenty of speed for your needs. If it doesn't use a dedicated band like the TP-Link Deco X90, stick to the same rule as dual band systems and make sure you have around twice the speed you need on your devices. And if you have an internet connection 500 megabits per second or so, an AX1800 kit with a 1001 5 gigahertz band should have most of the speed you need, but still may take 5.530. This was the Giger pick for AX3000 mesh kit as a top pick. So we can use, again, less 30,000 mesh kit. The short answer is yes, but gaming on a mesh can lead to some issues for competitive gamers. For gamers, latency, also known as ping, is the measure of the time it takes your PC or console to communicate with a game server. High ping can lead to gaps between input and action on screen, called lag, and an unstable connection can lead to intermittent spikes in ping, known as lag spikes. While modern mesh routers are very efficient and rarely add more than a couple of milliseconds to your ping, any extra is a disadvantage in a competitive game.
And for the best results, you can't beat a good Ethernet cable. For most gamers, however, something like the ROG Rapture GT6 should have more than enough performance to keep your games running smoothly.
Wi-Fi can still be disrupted, but with modern Wi-Fi technology, we've hit a point of diminishing returns for all but the most competitive gamers.